Good morning, Unity of Raleigh. Let's sing our first song. I'm not afraid to love you. I am not afraid to love you. I am not afraid to show my heart. I am not afraid to love you just the way you are. I am not afraid to love you. I am not afraid to show my heart. I am not afraid to love you just the way you are. Sing it again. I am not afraid to love you. I am not afraid to show my heart. I am not afraid to love you just the way you are. And one more time. I am not afraid to love you. I am not afraid to show my heart. I am not afraid to love you just the way you are.
Beautiful. You may be seated. So, Sister Elizabeth had to move. For years, the convent of nuns where she lived had had a thriving retirement community, and now they had to sell it. Now, all the retired nuns had lived side by side with their younger sisters in this retirement community at the convent, and they loved it. But times had changed, they needed to sell it, and all of the older retired nuns were being scattered throughout the town into private nursing homes run by strangers. Now, Sister Elizabeth was faithful and optimistic. She was looking forward to meeting new people. But she was finding that it was hard because the fire code in that new facility mandated that residents' doors remain closed. Now, she had spent her entire life in this convent of nuns, and she had had an open door policy always. And so people and life were always happening right there where she could see it. And she could always step right in whenever she wanted to. And that was not happening anymore. And she found herself feeling isolated behind that closed door. And I got to thinking, how often do we feel like that? Sometimes things can happen with our health and our prosperity and our relationships, and we can feel separate and trapped and powerless. Now, Scripture tells us, knock and the door shall be opened. But I got to thinking, how many times are we actually on the inside, pounding on that door, wanting to get out, set free from whatever it is that is holding us back? Now, Unity teaches us that there is no separation in spirit. We are always connected to God and each other. But the more and more that I walk through this life and I think about it, I realize that we have to take that first step first. We have to be willing to step out. We have to be willing to unlock our doors and swing those doors wide open, letting go of all the old hurts and all the old frustrations and all the old fears, and let that door swing wide in understanding and acceptance, forgiveness, and peace. Now, here's the truth. We were made by our Creator to open doors, doors out there and doors in here. We were made by our Creator to step out into the light and to let our light shine, that big, beautiful light that is us, that unique expression of God in the world, to let our light shine on everyone and everything in our world. So today we light our Christ candle for John 17:22. The glory which you have given me, I have given to them, that they may be one, just as we are one. And we affirm, because I am one with the one, nothing can separate me from a great, big, wonderful life. So good morning. I greet you in the name of Jesus Christ and in the warm and loving spirit of Unity Church of Raleigh. In unity, we welcome all people and honor the God of your understanding. We bless all churches and spiritual groups throughout the world because we know we are all sons and daughters of the same loving Creator. So we welcome everybody. We welcome everyone who's watching on your device today. Thank you for joining us. Do be sure to like and share us. My name is Melanie. I'm your platform leader. Our musicians today are Greg and Alan, Susan and Peggy, and our speaker is Reverend Pat Veenema. So now let's stand and say together our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life and affairs, God the good. Now let's walk around the room and say good morning to each other.
Draw me close to you, never let me go. I lay it all down again to hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my desire, no one else will do. 'Cause nothing else could take your place. Feel the warmth of your embrace. Help me find the way, bring me back to you. You're all I want. You're all I ever needed. You're all I want. Help me know you are near.
we always start our announcements with gratitude, and today I'm grateful for sunshine after that, oh my goodness, torrential, amazing rain. I live on a hill and I had ponding at the top of the hill. It was crazy. So it's beautiful and wonderful to see this sunshine. Also warm days behind us and warm days coming ahead of us. Always a good thing. So today's flowers are sponsored by Joan Langford in honor of her mother to celebrate her 90th birthday. Applause for Joan's mother and happy birthday to her. If you would like to sponsor flowers, we have sponsorship forms on that back silver table. It's a $35 love offering, and that day the flowers will be written in the bulletin, and they will be for you to take home. So we welcome any guests we have today in our community. Thanks for being with us. We look forward to getting to know you at the hospitality table. And now, why don't we invite our kids to go have a wonderful day in Sunday school? I think they may be gone. Yep, they're out. They said, forget it. I'm going straight back. They're all in Sunday school now. Perfect. So upcoming events. Today, after the service, I'm going to conduct a new minister visioning session. This is a mastermind session. It's a short prayer thing. It's going to be fun. We're going to do it in the prayer chapel. And just think about that amazing new minister that we are bringing to this church. So join me in the prayer chapel after the service for this short, probably about 15-minute experience. We have a team potluck this Thursday. If you are a volunteer with this church, whether you sit on a team or not, if you just help move chairs at events, or Cliff, like you, my goodness, every Sunday moving chairs in the sanctuary, come to our potluck. Bring a dish to share if you like. Our topic is spiritual resilience. The theme this year from Silent Unity is infinite presence, unlimited possibilities. And so that's what we're looking about. What is our future and what are we stepping forward into bringing into being for us? So part 2 is spiritual resilience. How can we stay ready and charged up to do what is ours to do? So it'll be fun. 6:30 here Thursday night. Women's group meets Friday night, Valentine's Day. They are reimagining jewelry. So ladies, 7 o'clock here, totally free. Bring in your old broken jewelry, and there will be tools and equipment and all kinds of little pieces so that you can make something brand new with your jewelry, which will be really fun. Men's group meets Saturday morning for the usual breakfast at 9 o'clock. Al, if you can wave, Al's over here. See Al after the service if you would like to participate in the men's group breakfast this Saturday at 9 o'clock. Hearts in Unity is coming up on Leap Year Saturday, February 29th at 6 to 9 p.m. Now, this is a big deal. This is our lasagna fundraising dinner. We have the DJ, we have sign-up sheets in the back, we have lasagnas, homemade lasagnas and desserts. We have a chef judge come out and judge the best lasagna and dessert, and there are prizes. Our DJ will do music trivia. We will have lots of line dancing, lots of fun, and delicious food. We have $1 raffle tickets. Oh my goodness, we have at least 10 or 12 brand new beautiful raffle prizes all ready for y'all to drop your tickets into. So join us for this event. We have the sign-up sheet for lasagna, dessert, raffle, and then to volunteer. And of course, buy your tickets. We are not raising our prices this year. It's just $15 for an adult, $5 for a child, and a table of 8, you get a seat for free. It's just $105. And if you can't come, that's okay. Just buy a ticket anyway and support your church's fundraising efforts. We want to see you here. We always have the best time at this event. So see me. Louise is going to work the credit card machine. Louise and the credit card machine are one. She is the Yoda of tablets. I will be back here talking it up before that session. Louise will be actually inserting the card and making it work. Poor Carl, I think, it took 10 minutes last week? He had to do it for me. I couldn't do it. So anyway, Louise, the tablet master, so she'll do it. Okay, great. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Andy has an announcement to make. Andy, would you like to come up? Let's welcome him.
Good morning. I'm getting so comfortable up here, I guess I'm going to have to substitute for Melanie some morning. Anyway, February is a month that the men's group have been sort of in charge of the outreach program. And this last month, the men's group have been serving at the Durham Research Mission and we've been serving food, and we've been counting Christmas toys. We've been sorting Christmas toys so that when Christmas time comes around, they will have all of these sorted by children's age and girls or boys. And the last time we sorted 1,600 of the toys into groups. So the last 2 weeks, just last week, we got an email from them that they said they would like to have needed donations of water. So what we would like to do, anybody that would like to donate water, if you could just put money in an envelope or give it to Al and I. Right now, Harris Teeter has purified water for 2 cases for $5. So $5 would buy 2 cases. It would be easier if you would just give the money here, and then the men's group can go out and buy it, and for you to try and carry a case into the church. So anybody who wants to see me or Al or put it in an envelope and an offering. So thank you very much.
What I love about this church, y'all probably know this, but 75 to 80% of us volunteer in this community, and that is big for churches. And what I really love is that this men's group, y'all are doing what men do. You are quietly, lovingly, willingly serving people at the Raleigh Rescue. Is it Raleigh Rescue Mission? And it is beautiful. So thank you, men's group, for all you are doing. Durham Rescue. Excellent. Durham Rescue. So thank you for all that you are doing in the community. Each month, we take on a different community service project. And so I love how this church loves other people, loves folks in the community. So coming up at UCR, here are the folks that you can look forward to seeing over the next 3 weeks. Reverend Wally will be with us on February 16th. His teaching centers on discovering our powerful oneness with God. On February 23rd, we have Reverend Paula Zabkar of Spiritual Soul Center in Wilmington, North Carolina, and she believes in using ancient and contemporary wisdom as a guide to living spiritually in present life circumstances. And then on March 1st, Reverend Wally is back. Remember, the first Sunday of the month, he's with us for a Unity 12 Power Talk. That talk is on strength, and of course it will be followed by a soul talk after the service on the Unity Power of Strength. So do join us for these wonderful talks on Sundays. So now it's time for congregational prayer. Al, if you could raise your hand, he's in the back here. He asks for prayers for safe travels this week. He is going to Georgia to the Unity Conference. So let's just gently close our eyes and we think about Al and the bright light that Al is for our community, and how he keeps us connected to the mothership by going to these events. And we know that the Spirit of the Lord, as a Fillmore said, the Spirit of the Lord goes before Al, making safe, happy, and successful his way. So it is. Amen. Excellent. And now why don't we join together and say our new minister affirmation. It's behind me. Everybody ready? Together. The activity of God is the only power at work. God lights our way, guides our steps, and the divine wisdom within works through all of us as the right minister is employed. Thank you, God. So exciting. So remember, as usual, have the chair takedown in the middle of the sanctuary. And now let's prepare for the peace and refreshment of meditation with Reverend Pat Veenema by singing the song In the Silence.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there, peace is there, truth is there, God is there.
Take a deep breath in and release. Settling into the awareness of God as a presence and power right here and right now, within and all around us, supporting us, filling us with radiant energy. Breathe once again as we settle into listening to the still small voice of God the Good. And we know and affirm that this presence of God is the very light of our being. This power of God gives us the strength to carry on every day. And the radiant energy of God wakes us up every morning, gives us the strength to do what we are called to do and be who we are called to be. So we take this time in silence just to really focus on that energy of God, which is us, which is in us, all around us. Blessing each one of us here and moving that energy out into the world. And so as we drift into silence, I invite you to repeat this affirmation. I am love. I am love. And let that truth awaken now in the silence. I am love. Another deep breath. In this precious moment of love, we extend that love to each person in this room. Any prayer needs that haven't been spoken, We know they're being met right now as each of us declares the presence and power of God in our lives and in the lives of our loved ones. We're so grateful for our awakening and our maturing into this truth of who we are, the love of God manifest. We allow that love to heal. We allow that love to clean up disagreements. We allow that love to break down any walls and barriers. We let that love bring us true happiness. And this we speak in the name and through the power of the Christ nature. And so it is. Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody feeling this morning? Feeling a lot of love? That's what we call love of the common man. I'm going to do a little song by Todd Rundgren this morning. Maybe a little bit different than the original because it's just me. So, of course, it was just him too. He played all the instruments, but he had 16 tracks to work with. So. Okay. How's it sound out there? We got a new sound system now with Kevin and I installed that this week, and we're working out the few bugs that are left, but I think that was the quietest meditation on record. It was like, there's no hum. Wow. I've been burned in my prime. The simple things in life seem so hard to learn sometimes, and it takes so long. Catch it while you can. Too late tomorrow, and everyone said we all know what comes of that. Living in your pockets and talking through your hat, but it won't take long to turn your head around. Too late tomorrow, 'cause everyone needs the love of the common man. Turn the world around. Too late tomorrow, 'cause everyone is waiting, just anticipating on you. Won't you make a show and everybody knows what to do? Take a dive from your ivory tower and fall on everyone. We'll catch you, everyone. Everyone is waiting, just anticipating on you. Won't you make a show and everybody knows what to do? Take a dive from your ivory tower and safe on everyone. We'll catch you, everyone. I would be so pleased to spend some time to hear a little talk about what's been on your mind. 'Cause it don't take long to turn my head around if it comes easy, 'cause everyone needs the love of the common man. Turn the world around. Too late tomorrow, 'cause everyone needs the love of the common man. Turn the world around. Too late tomorrow, 'cause everyone.
Well, thank you. Wow. I'd like to introduce our speaker, Reverend Pat Veenema. She is a dynamic teacher and facilitator and founder of Unity New Vista Learning Center, which is a real-time online classroom for Unity C education, which is spiritual enrichment and education. She is a professional teacher before entering the ministry and earned a Master's of Divinity from Unity Institute and Seminary. She served as a senior minister of Unity in Asheville, North Carolina, before returning home to Durham. This is where she began teaching online and in local churches. She's a true teacher, and her talks invite us to connect the dots and fill in the blanks. And she likes to remind everyone that transformation takes more than a couple of Sunday sermons per month. What? No. Excellent. Join me in welcoming Reverend Pat.
So thank you so much for letting me be here today. I've met some of you. I taught Al some of his SEE classes while he was working to get licensed. So it's really an honor to be here. I knew Rev Bev and hadn't plugged into your church much, been to some of the other local churches. I think it's been 4 years or so since I've stopped in to see you guys, so more, maybe longer. But love this new space. Awesome. So today I want to, in the idea of love that Wally brought yet last week and your Saturday event and Valentine's Day, I wanted to play around with love a little more, and I knew that 2 Sundays in a row about love, you will not get duplication because there's so much to say about love. One of my teachers, one of my influences is Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He's passed now. He was a Jesuit priest, and the Jesuits are the educators. They're the thinkers. They get the big degrees, as opposed to, for example, the Franciscans, who are more of the service orientation. So Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, it's a mouthful, was an archaeologist as well. Anthropology was what he got into. So he had this match of science and religion, being ordained and being a scientist. He loved to dig, find fossils as a kid, and as an adult he went to China and excavated and was part of the team that found the Peking Man. He brought mysticism and philosophy into his scientific research. So he's looking at the meaning of things behind the idea that man has evolved from this very ancient ancestor of ours to who we are now. And he watched evolution of all biology and so forth, seeing that everything starts with a simple cell and divides and multiplies. And, you know, he talked so much, there's so much to learn from him, but in a nutshell, he's saying, it seems to him that all of creation moves from the simple to the complex. And the paradox is, it moves from diversity to unity. Even though we get more complex as our biology multiplies and makes different kinds of creatures and beings, trees and so forth. It started out with just algae and it got into these complicated systems. Even though we get more complex, we are also unifying. And there's the mystical part. So let's play around with that unifying thing. Teilhard tells a story about imagining a group of people who are climbing a mountain. And they're all on vacation, and they stay at the inn, and they're going to climb up this mountain on a day hike. And eventually, after a couple hours of climbing, you see the group fragment into 3 different groups. The one that's down at the lowest to the bottom is saying, oh, this is a tough hike. I'm not sure I can make it. I don't think my back can make it. We had a lot more fun at the inn. Why don't we just go back there and, enjoy our day? A little further up the trail, there's another group, and they're saying, wow, this is beautiful. Look how far we can see. There's a big meadow here. It's all open up. The grass is so green. We could just play here for a while and then have our picnic and go back down to the inn. It's just beautiful. We're so happy. And then there's the third group who pressed on further. And they went on, and they're enthusiastic about it. Said, we can do this together. Let's get up to the top and see what we can see. It's beautiful here, but what if we get up there? So Teilhard is saying there's kind of 3 different kinds of people in this world. The ones who get tired real fast and stop. Everything's fine. We don't have to go further. The ones who say, hey, we're having a good time. Let's play. Let's enjoy life while we're living. And the ones who are the enthusiasts who say, let's just keep going and see what's up there. See what the rewards we're going to get are worth it. So he says, basically, he sees 3 different kinds of people in this world. It's pretty simple. But he said, I see this in evolution as well. Nature seems to have some that don't have the energy, and they die off. They kind of fall off. And then there's some who are ready to, prosper and live at where they are. And then there's some who just push and push and push. In nature, there's a drive that seems to pushing out into a greater expansive living, trying new things. And he says, what's going on here? What is it that calls us to advance further and further and develop ourselves further and further? He says, it's love. He says it's God that we're trying to reach, and God is love. So that is the omega point. The final point where we want to get to is God. Very abstract. But if you add God is love, then okay, our omega point is love. Our final destination is love. Love is unity. Love is a power that harmonizes, and it unifies, and it has a magnetic attraction. Like when you feel a loving person, you want to be with them. When a loving radiation comes out of someone, don't you want to just be near them? You want to feel that hug they might give, or have a conversation with them because you know you can trust them. Love is a harmonizing, magnetizing force. And that's Teilhard says, where we're going. We're going toward unification, toward love. And it's a draw. It draws us to it. And in our diversity, we can find unity in that common desire. Unification, love, being one with God, with others. And he says, that's the way to be happy. His sermon that I'm citing is from 1940 something, and he says, this is on love and happiness. That's his title. So love and happiness go hand in hand. And he says, so how can we press on toward this abstract, unifying love target that we're living for? Well, we can press on by desiring happiness. And we desire happiness for ourselves, right? We desire happiness for our loved ones. We desire happiness for even people who we don't know well. We want them to be happy. So we can even extend that further. We can desire happiness for the people we don't like so much. As I worked on this idea and meditated on this, I also watched the news this week. And I saw a lot of unhappiness. No matter what your political persuasion is, it's pretty unhappy. It's unhappy for us to see a divided Senate. I mean, and it makes us very disturbed to wonder about our future as a country because our Senate is so polar, and it only represents the polarization of our country. That's very unhappy. That's very unsettling for us who love a republic, right? So our hearts go out to our own Constitution and to our own country. We want harmony. We want cooperation. We want to move forward and pass bills that will help others and make life good for all. But we're stuck in a place of hate. We're stuck in a place of hate. And I want to give kudos to Lieutenant Colonel Veenema, who stood to say, I love this country and I am free to speak. Not like it was in Russia, Dad. I'm free to speak here without repercussions. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Veenema, because he's right. We are free to speak. And we cherish that freedom. So I want to bring this message to help us embrace this power of love that is so much bigger than us. It's so much bigger than we can see on the TV. It's so much bigger than we see from all the pundits and the candidates and the senators. It's so much bigger. It is the power that created this universe. It is the power that brings us together and, as Teilhard said, calls us home. And I bless this Constitution and this country and Capitol Hill with love. I hope you'll join me with that every day as you watch the news and feel disturbed. Every day as you sit down to pray, don't just pray for you and your grandchildren or whoever you love. Pray for those senators. Pray for Tom Tillis and Richard Burr, our senators. Pray for them to be touched by love. That's all we need. We don't need to pray for their politics. Just love. It's most powerful, the most powerful power there is for us to give to them. Teilhard is not Unity. He's not New Thought. He's a Catholic priest. But he said some things that I just say are Unity all the way. He says 3 things to do about love, about moving forward, about finding happiness. And that is 1, center on yourself. Feels weird, doesn't it? For a religious scholar to say center on yourself. 2, decenter and focus on others. And 3, be super-centered. Center on something greater than you, right? So yes, it sounds a little selfish to be centered on yourself, but we all are working on being whole and healthy and working out our shadows and our griefs and doing our healing work, uncovering what motivates us to do things that we regret later, uncovering those buttons that we allow others to push so that we can be whole and centered and grounded. And so that's the first thing, just really, he says, to achieve our own inner perfection, intellectual, artistic, moral. That's how we can find happiness. So it's a personal self-improvement and self-love. Then he says, loving others, because the true happiness that we have is to unite with an other. We all have relationships, even if we live alone like I do. I'm in a relationship, plenty of them. And I want each one of my relationships to have love as the foundation. So if there's one that seems tense for me, that's the one I'm focusing on. Blessing that other person with love, seeing him whole and complete. It's a son-in-law. You know how that goes. Not quite understanding why my daughter chose this guy, but I have to love him, and I want to love him. And he is beautiful. He just wouldn't have been my choice. But I didn't have to marry him, did I? I love him because he loves my daughter. And so I just take that and say, it's not about me. Give him the love that I am. I am love. I can give it to him. And the harmony begins. So we all have that person, a person, or maybe more, that we wish we just wouldn't have to have conversations with. Our gift to them is silent love. And it can change our attitudes toward them. It can help us to see the Christ in them, the beauty in them. And the third thing is subordinate yourself to the higher cause or power, or as Teilhard said, worship, which we often don't want to say because it feels archaic. So whatever word or whatever idea comes up with worship, what he's saying is realize there's something bigger that is worth your attention. It is God. It is good. It is love. It is all the powers that we articulate as a personification of God. Let's see. Transfer the ultimate interest of our lives to the advancement and success of the world we live in. So we're seeing not just me, not just my loved ones, but loving all of them for the good of all of them, all of us. And that's where we find I will live in love and I will feel happier. He says, I see the complete solution to the problem of happiness, or the lack of it, in the direction of Christian humanism, or in the direction of a superhuman Christianity, within which every person will one day understand that at all times and in all circumstances, it is possible for us not only to serve, but to cherish in all things a universe which, in its evolution, is charged with love. To serve and to cherish a universe that's charged with love. When you walk into nature, remember that. This woods is charged with love. When you walk into a room of people, remember that. This room is charged with love. Because every one of us lives because love exists. When we walk into a crowd, when we watch an event, this event is charged with love. I embrace love. I celebrate love. I see the love in this room now. I feel this energy. Affirm that. And know it's there, even if you can't see it. It's there. That's what I love about affirming. Charles Fillmore, let's let our founder speak to this idea. Boy, he has a lot of practical ideas about love. And maybe Teilhard is more philosophical, but Charles brings us right down to some practical stuff. He says, meditation, realize the heart chakra, realize that that is an energy that we can expand from this heart chakra. So when you go into meditation, use your imagination to imagine this expanding. It's not the physical heart. You can see that on a CAT scan and realize it's a muscle constantly moving, keeping you alive all the time. It's more than that, though. It's a metaphor of the energy of this intellect that is love here. Oops. And then we can imagine it busting out through our skin and out into our home, and then out into our community, and then out into the state, and out around the world. I want to lead you in a loving kindness meditation, another meditation this morning, because this can help us imagine that. So we'll do that in a second. Charles says, meditate regularly on the love idea in universal mind. And with prayer, say, divine love, manifest through me now. You're inviting divine love to manifest through you like you're the vessel of God's love. He said there should be periods of mental concentration on the cardiac plexus near the heart. It's not necessary to know exactly where the love cells are, he says. Think about just the attention drawn to the chest. A quickening will follow, and all the ideas that make up love will be set into motion. And this produces a love current, because it is energy. And it can go out and break up opposing thoughts of hate. The thought of hate will be dissolved, not only in the mind of the thinker, but in the minds of those he comes in contact with, in body or mind. The love is a current. It's not a projection of your will. It's a physical current. And it can set free a natural, equalizing, harmonizing force that in most persons has been dammed up by human limitations. The ordinary man is not aware that he possesses this mighty power which will turn away every shaft of hate that is aimed at him. That's kind of what I was thinking about Veenema. You know, if we can give him love and say, you stood for your principles, he can feel that love, even though he feels hate at the same time that he's lost his position and he's kind of been ushered out. We can give him that love. And Mitt Romney, who stood up for his principles. We can support people who decide to stand in love. We can support them with our love. Long distance away, we can. I want to invite you to realize that you can be so much more than your little self. You know, you might think I'm totally confident. Here I am standing up in front of talking to a group. But, you know, every speaker has questions. Will I connect with the people? Will they take anything home with them? Am I worthy of this? And blah, 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 blah. We do all that stuff, right? Our little minds just can knock us down so fast. And what we can do then is bolster ourselves up. That little mind isn't my true self. Bolster ourselves up with, I am love. I was created in love, and I walk in love. I live and expand in love. So I want to take you into a loving kindness meditation. You know, the loving kindness meditation that comes from Eastern, like Eastern religion. And we'll do this in different ways. The loving kindness meditation, if you Google it, you'll find it. And you'll find videos, you'll find guided meditations, loving kindness meditation. You'll also find different wording. So if you hear mine is a little different than the one you know, that's okay. I want you to realize that as we focus on the power of love for myself, we can generate that love and let it go to others and feel the radiation. You can imagine it radiating. And realize that everything we have, every opinion we have about others, if it's distaste or disdain or hate, if you want to use such a strong word, it's because barriers. We've put up barriers. We've put labels on people. We have ostracized them. We have said this, not that, me, not you. Those are barriers. So love can melt those barriers. So I want to invite you to do the steps of the loving kindness meditation. First, we'll focus on ourselves. Then we'll focus on stepping out into another. And then we'll focus on the general world and feel that radiation of love come through. So let's do that. I invite you to just follow my lead on this. Take a deep breath in, out. Center, relax. Imagine yourself, a baby, rocked in your parents' arms or caretaker's arms, and how loved you were when you were a little tiny, beautiful child. And know that the love that came from another person is your very essence. And you are loved right now. May I be safe. May I be free from pain and suffering. May I be healthy and strong. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be truly happy. And now we'll turn that into an affirmative prayer. I am safe. I am free of pain and suffering. I am healthy and strong. I am peaceful and at ease. I am truly happy. Now I invite you to fix your attention on another person, a loved one, or someone you'd love to love. And I'll use the pronoun they. May they be safe. May they be free from pain and suffering. May they be healthy and strong. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be truly happy. Now, as we release our attention from that person, knowing they are safe and blessed by our love, we radiate that love to encircle all beings, all elements of this earth, the water, the air, the fires underneath the earth, the movements of the planet, and all the animals and living things within it. Imagine the love that is endless, of the love of God that is endless and powerful to be encircling this entire planet, healing its wounds, restoring wholeness as we speak this loving kindness meditation to it. May all beings be safe. May all beings be free from pain and suffering. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be truly happy. A deep breath, and so it is. Remember that you don't have to see love to know it's there. No, it's an energy, just like gravity. So harness that energy. Push it out there into the world in spite of your barriers towards someone else. Let love melt that barrier. I've done it. It works, guys. It really works. Some of you can tell stories like this one. When I was a minister at the church in Asheville, Mills River, I came into a really awkward position where I was in charge of kind of holding it all together while a transition was happening that they had not anticipated. It's a mess. Don't know what I'm talking about. And I had to deal with some really big challenges professionally, and I was fresh out of seminary. It was nuts. And I was like, said I was the unintentional interim minister. You know, that's really in hindsight. And I had to call the two patriarchs in for a meeting, and I was afraid they were going to just shut me out. I spoke to a mentor from Unity Village that morning just by coincidence and said, hey, hold me in prayer at 2 o'clock. We're going to have this meeting. And he said, okay, I have one thing to tell you. From now till 2 o'clock, every time you notice what you're thinking, you add this statement, I am love. He said, don't think love is with me. Don't think God's love will take care of this. One thing, I am love. That's what I brought to you in the meditation this morning. So I did, because I thought, yeah, I believe that. So why don't I remind myself of that? And I walked into the meeting. The body language was so obvious that they did not want to be there. And they, arms folded across the chest and sitting way back and clipping their nails and just, I started speaking and thinking, I am love, I am love. The barriers just melted as soon as I started talking. Body language changed. They put things down, eye contact, listening, leaning forward. Whoa! It melted that coldness that I felt in the room, and it was gone. This is powerful stuff. Remember that we have the powers in us to let love melt our barriers. And as more and more of us do that, it's powerful enough to melt the big barriers. And that's my hope. That's my hope for 2020 and for us. Carry that into your family of this church as you call a new minister. I am love. And guess who will come? Someone who knows they are loved too. And that's what you want. So, amen. Thank you. I made these little affirmations. They're not about love, they're about happiness. So if you'd like to take one home with you, I'll put them in the back, give them to an usher or something, just to help you remember. It's an affirmation to help me be happy. But remember, love is behind that. Happiness isn't the superficial stuff like the climbers. It's the ones that are pushed to the end and really know that they've fulfilled their destiny. So I'll give that to you later.
Okay, now I want to sing the song that I did last week because it was about love. But I'll sing you another of my songs, which is about that center place where you find the love. It's called My Inner Voice. 1, 2, 3, 4. My inner voice tells me to love when I'm scared. It sings to me, reminds me to care. My inner voice soothes my heart when I've been hurt. Lifts me up when I fall into the dirt. I know I must listen to the voice inside. It never fails to do me good. I listen to the voice inside. It never fails to do me good. I thought I was crazy, but it leads me to my purpose and all the strength it feeds me. It brings me clarity and hope for the future. Gives me strength and wisdom and hope for the future. I know I must listen to the voice inside. It never fails to do me good. I listen to the voice inside. It never fails to do me good. My inner voice is always there for me. My inner voice is always there for me. My inner voice tells me to love when I am scared. sings to me, reminds me to care. My inner voice soothes my heart when I've been hurt. It lifts me up when I fall into the dirt. I know I must listen to the voice inside. It never fails to do me good. I listen to the voice inside. It never fails to do me good. Thank you.
Susan, thank you for that. Why don't we prepare for our offering by singing the song, I See Abundance Everywhere.
I see abundance everywhere, God's rich supply beyond compare. 'Tis ours to use and to enjoy, His gifts to us without alloy. Prosperity, prosperity, I know my own has come to me. God send His children joy and peace, good health and wisdom and increase. And we are grateful voices raise to Thee, O God, in hymns of praise.
Before we take up our offering, we always like to say thank you, and I am grateful for our 3G automatic giving program. Y'all may not know this, but this church is totally self-supporting. We tithe to the mothership, Unity, but everything we do, rent, power, speakers, everything is because of you, your attendance, your participation in volunteer fundraising events, your weekly tithes and love offerings. And we are so grateful for that. And this is the automatic program. You know how we all have our cable bill and our mortgages and everything with direct withdrawals or deposits and automatic once or twice a month? We've got the same thing going in our church. So sometimes when you see people put their hands on the offering bag, a lot of us are on the 3G automatic giving program. We bless the bag because we know that our giving is taken care of in this way. So if you want to make it simple and green and ensure that even on the weeks that you aren't here, that your church is thriving and supported by your love, check it out, because this is just a beautiful way, another quiet way that we are supporting our wonderful church. So now let's take our gifts in our hands and give thanks that all good things come from God, affirming our offertory blessing. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive. And so it is, amen.
Good morning. Well, here at Unity Church of Raleigh, we do all kinds of spiritual music centered on unity principles of love. And for that reason, we've really searched for spiritual music in all kinds of different bands. We've done songs by Tom Petty, by the Allman Brothers, by the Beatles, by Bob Dylan, by Elton John, original songs. There's one band that I really like, and I just had a hard time finding a spiritual song by them, but I think I found it. We're going to do a song now by the Rolling Stones. No, not Sympathy for the Devil. That's a different theology. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No. Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Okay.
We're not doing that one.
I thought Jumpin' Jack Flash was a Unity teacher. Okay. In all seriousness, this is a song Mick Jagger started to write in 1968 because he was concerned about a bandmate, Brian Jones, who had a serious addiction problem. Brian Jones succumbed to that, his addiction, and died in 1969 from alcohol and drug-related death. So in 1972, they finally released this song, and I want to dedicate this to all the people in the world, in the country, in the state who suffer from addictions, and also my fellow recovering people. This is called Shine a Light. Saw you stretched out in room 1009 with a smile on your face and a tear right in your eye. Whoa, come see to get a line on you, my sweet honey love. Burberry jewelry dangling down the street make you shut your eye at every woman you see. Whoa, could not think to get a high on you, my sweet honey love. May the good Lord shine a light on you, make every song you sing your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine a light on you, warm like the evening sun. When you're drunk in the elevator with your clothes all torn, when your late night friends leave you in the cold gray dawn. Whoa, just seen too many flies on you, and I just can't brush them off. Angels beating all their wings in time, with smiles on their faces and a gleam right in the eye. Whoa, I thought I heard one sigh for you. Well, come up now, come up now, come up now. May the good Lord shine a light on you, make every song you sing your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine a light on you, warm like the evening sun. Come up now, come up now, come up now, come up. May the good Lord shine a light on you, make every song you sing your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine a light on you, warm like the evening sun. Thank you.
That was awesome. Music makes me so happy. What about y'all? That was just I know. They're such good musicians. Let's bless those offerings. Aren't they wonderful? Awesome. Okay, so let's go with them. We say, thank you, Lord, for this day and our many blessings. Thank you for these tithes and love offerings given both here and through our 3G automatic giving program. They are divine substance made real through faith, imagination, and belief. Thank you, God, for the truth we know. God within prospers us, and so we prosper others, bringing more love, light, and laughter to the planet. So it is, amen. Now let's stand and welcome our kids back by singing We Are Walking in the Light.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God.
That's all right. All of us are divine children of God, right? Second Unity principle. So what did all you people do today? We talked about how God is life. Oh, I love that. God is life. How about y'all, Betty and Sadie?
Well, we talked about love and going to magazines and creating things that are about love.
Excellent. That sounds good. We did the same thing. Y'all ready to bless these people? We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you together. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. Y'all too. What fun it is to be church together. Reverend Pat, thank you for that talk. And not one, but two meditations. We loved it. That was great. Okay, back corner, my corner, Louise, the credit card master. Buy your Hearts in Unity tickets, sign up, volunteer for everything. Hospitality in that corner. And in that corner, at around 12:15 or so, we'll do the new minister visioning session, a short mastermind process, just to see who we can call forth for us. But the most important thing we can do this day and every day is to swing open that door that we may have locked behind us. Let's swing that door open and let our light shine, knowing that the light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
And all is well.
Now let's join hands and sing our prayer for the planet.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in perfect harmony. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
We are loving awareness. We accept this life, these great, big, beautiful lives that we co-create with Spirit and each other exactly the way they are. And therefore, we radiate love, love, love to everyone, and all is well. Namaste.